Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I am Jake.
And this
Are
is
we-
the...
Are we ghosts?
Are we? Yeah, we're ghosts. Surprise, we did get killed after the last episode. There was the IED. Surprisingly, wasn't Muslims, it was the goddamn Irish.
They were the first N-words.
Yeah. So,
They were.
I'm not-
They were.
I'm not going to dig into that anymore, but alright.
You don't have to. People were super racist against the Irish in
Oh,
New
yeah.
York. Like when they were the first. Like they literally that was one of the words they used at them.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That makes sense.
Enough history of racism. I guess we're going to read more of the Qur'an today. Today we're actually getting into some really good stuff because we have a little bit more about combat and why it's good. We have stuff about women. We have stuff about divorce. We have stuff about that dirty menstrual blood, which Allah is not in favor of, which is weird.
Well, luckily I'm here to balance the scales because I am all about menstrual blood.
Yeah, you get up in there, you paint your face with it. War paint.
Oh yeah. Like a red version, but of Braveheart.
Let's do a man versus wild type deal, but you cover yourself in menstrual blood and walk into woods filled with bears.
It should just be called Bear Force Menstrual Blood.
We'll shop the name. Anyway, today we're starting in 2nd Surah, verse 217. They ask you about fighting during the holy month. Say, fighting during it is deplorable, but to bar others from God's path and to disbelieve in him and to prevent access to the holy mosque and to expel its people from it are more deplorable with God. So try not to fight during the holy month, but if people are blocking your path, cut their heads off. All right.
Also, I assume it means if you get attacked, you can defend yourself.
Probably.
Because, if they're removing you from mosques, that doesn't sound kind.
And persecution is more serious than killing. Disagree, but alright. They will not cease to fight you until they turn you back from your religion, if they can.
Oh.
You know, all those ancient Jews fighting the Muslims, like, stop it! Eat this fucking unleavened bread. It's like a pita, but it's not. I'd be a terrible Jew. I mean, I know this is the Muslim show, but if I had to be a Jew, I'd be like, oh god, why is this bread so flat? I'm not a flatbread sandwich guy.
No, you need a little bit more to hold on to the rest of the toppings.
Yeah.
I guess it's not. Is it toppings when it's in the sandwich? Because it's not on top.
You're dumb. Whoever among you turns back from his religion and dies a disbeliever, those are they whose works will come to nothing in this life and in the hereafter. Those are the inmates of the fire and abiding in it forever.
I love that. If you die a disbeliever, like maybe you're a great artist or something, then as soon as you die, God's like, ha ha ha, it meant nothing, and then he burns your life's work.
It's okay, then the paintings that are left will be more valuable.
See?
God's just an art collector. He keeps a couple for himself, burns them, and he says, Vincent van Gogh? Who's that guy?
I made him kill himself.
Those who believed in those who migrated and fought for the sake of God, those look forward to God's mercy. God is forgiving and merciful. As long as you're willing to kill people in his name, you're golden. They ask you about intoxicants and gambling, say, there is gross sin in them and some benefits for people, but their sinfulness outweighs their benefit.
Some benefits in both of those things. So the benefits of intoxicants are obvious. They're cool and they're fun. Kids do drugs, and especially if you can do it at school instead of learning. and also gambling, you'll always win.
Here's what you need to do if you're in high school and you want to be a rebel. This is to all our people who are going into high school, and this is great advice, by the way. You should definitely do this. Get a water bottle, but like a big one, a big thick plastic one. Fill it with vodka. Get wasted every day until you get caught, and then they won't let anyone bring water bottles to school, and everyone will know it's your fault.
We all remember Vodka Kid.
Timmy, what's the formula for fucking finding the slope of this angle? No, you got a problem.
Actually, funny, the Vodka Kid in my school was Timmy. His name was Timmy.
Oh, wow. I nailed that one.
You got him. Good job.
And they ask you about what they should give, say the surplus. Thus God explains the revelations to you so that you may think. Any extra money you have lying around, the surplus, give it to God. I've never considered any money I've ever had to be surplus. But maybe that's just me. I've always been like, look at all the money I spend on blow and hookers. What if the Earth is just one big pyramid scheme and there is a God and he's skimming from everyone? Like, he's like, haha, got the Catholics, got those motherfucking Protestants, got those bitch-ass Baptists, got those fucking Jews, Muslims, that went a little bit awry, I'll be honest, but get a lot of heads in the mail now, so that's nice. About this world and the next, they ask you about orphans, say improvement for them is best. That's good. Honestly, there was a 50-50 chance Allah was going to be like, I don't know, burn them for resources.
They're kind of like nature's crayon. You know, like in case of emergency, burn a crayon.
Yeah.
And it burns for hours, but same thing with orphans. They burn longer. It's the filth on top of them that really keeps them, you know, it's like a wick.
The really fat orphans, oh man, which are rare, but when you get them, they burn for hours.
Just make sure they have a basin, because they're like those oil candles that burn forever and ever.
And if you intermix with them, then they are your brethren. God knows the dishonest from the honest. If God had willed, he could have overburdened you. God is mighty and wise.
So, intermix. So fuck orphans.
All
Not
right.
like in a bad way, like go fuck some orphans with your dick.
Some orphans are at least 13, which is like middle-aged for them, so that's fine. Have you seen Abdullah? He's into cougars now. She's like 14.
Wow, that was a pretty good thing you did there.
I've told you before, I could do accents in short bursts, like one sentence. If I had gone one word longer, it would have fallen apart and turned Irish or something.
Oh, me matey! He's an Irish pirate. Also, he could have overburdened you. You know, you're only an orphan. He could have given you cancer, too.
Except for the orphans with cancer. He also could have given you AIDS.
Yeah, so count your lucky stars.
Do not marry idolatresses unless they have believed. A believing maid is better than an idolatress. Interestingly, some of these don't say maid, they say slave. This one happens to say maid, so kind of think of a sexy French maid, or alternatively, if you've seen the movie Roots, any of the background characters who were, like, darker, you know. These call to the fire, but God calls to the garden and to forgiveness. By his leave, he makes clear his communications to the people that they may be mindful. So don't marry anyone who isn't Muslim, basically, even if you want to get all up in that pussy.
Wow.
Yeah,
or butthole.
This is I don't think I've ever before yesterday, because we did the live show, I was doing a character and I said pussy like 30 times. This is the first time I think on the actual show I've said pussy. I don't know why.
It just keeps happening.
It's I don't like it. That word makes me uncomfortable.
You could stop then.
I can't, because it's also kind of got that, it's one of those words that feels good on the mouth, you know, like pussy.
Pussy. That's how I feel about cloaca.
Cloaca. Not as satisfying.
Whatever.
My pussy is more satisfying than your cloaca, Jake.
Whose hole is more satisfying? Hugo's pussy or my cloaca? Please in the comments if you'd let us know. And why.
And when they ask about menstruation, you know, before I go on, I'd like to wonder all these, hey, what's going on with menstruation? Who comes up to you and asks that? That's what I want to know. Why at this time was there just an influx of people going up to Muslims saying, hey, so how about that vag blood? Just asking. Say, it is harmful, so keep away from women during menstruation and do not approach them until they have become pure. Once they have become pure, approach them in the way God has directed you. God loves the repentant, and he loves those who keep clean.
So the idea here is that for some reason, puss blood is harmful to you in some way that I'm unaware of.
So I read this source. It's the same source I normally read. It's like an Islamic perspective on, or at least this one guy's Islamic perspective on this. And the reason he gave for this was basically, during a time of your period, you're not only spiritually less clean, it's closer to a point of illness, and that's why it's forbidden. And I literally thought, this guy doesn't know anything about reproduction whatsoever. If you're bleeding, it means your body is functioning correctly. That's how it's supposed to work. Like, if I start bleeding out of my dick and or asshole, yeah, I should probably go see a doctor. I mean, I never have, but, you know, you just get used to it. However, if a female is bleeding, you go, oh, good, you're not pregnant.
Right, and then we all celebrate with more sex.
Your women are cultivation for you, so approach your cultivation whenever you like. Let me reiterate, they just called women your cultivation. Like it's a fucking field that you're planting with your seed and your dick is the hoe.
Well, yeah, that's better than what I was gonna go with. It was like she was a cow and you were inseminating her, but samesies.
And fear God and know that you will meet him. And good news to the believers. Good news, believers! You'd fuck women whenever you want. They're property. They're your cultivation. You're a farmer. Plow that field. God does not hold you responsible for your unintentional oaths, but he holds you responsible for your intentions. God is forgiving and forbearing. How do you have an unintentional oath? I think an oath is a pretty official thing that you tend to take. I don't know how you do that accidentally.
So he holds you responsible for your intentions, not your actions, but so is manslaughter like fine?
Yeah, that's how ISIS is getting away with it. They're like, oops, my sword fell on this guy's neck 30 times.
We accidentally bombed all these women and school children.
Whoops, I fell into this virgin 13-year-old 40 times and then came in her. Oops. Better. Oh no, my sword's getting wobbly. Now her head's off too.
I like the idea of ISIS Mr. Magoo. He accidentally is ISIS guy.
Really a nice guy. He just doesn't know what he's doing. That's what I'd like to think happened on 9/11.
Like the pilots just had a heart attack and they're like, we'll take care of it. And he tried his best.
Sky's all clear, ISIS Mr. Magoo. What's the worst that could happen? What are you going to hit up here in the sky?
ISIS Mr. Magoo.
Yes, I know that wasn't ISIS. That's not the point. You get the joke. Those who vow abstinence from their wives must wait 4 months, but if they reconcile, God is forgiving and merciful. Apparently what this means is that if you're like having an argument after 4 months, if you've decided not to have sex with your wife, not vice versa, obviously, she doesn't have a choice. If you've decided not to have sex for 4 months, by the end of the 4th month, you have to decide, are we going to fuck or are we going to get divorced? Because relations are incredibly important, I guess, in the institution of marriage. I mean, they are, but you know what I mean. They're treating it like this official scoreboard thing that you need to keep track of. And like
a fuck quota.
Basically, every 4 months you need to at least stick it in once. You don't have to like it, you just have to do it.
That's only 3 times a year.
Yeah.
If you work that out perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 4 just to cover your ass in like a leap year or something.
And if they resolve to divorce, God is hearing and knowing. Divorced women shall wait by themselves for 3 periods, which would be 3 months, as you would imagine. And it is not lawful for them to conceal what God has created in their wombs. If they believe in God and the last day, so basically what they're saying is you got to wait 3 months to get with anyone else to make sure you're not pregnant. After that, do whatever. But if you are pregnant, the intention is that the guy's supposed to take you back because, you have his kid inside you. Meanwhile, their husbands have the better right to take them back if they desire reconciliation, and women have rights similar to their obligations, according to what is fair, but men have a degree over them. God is mighty and wise.
Men have a degree over them. Women have the rights similar to their obligations, meaning their rights include, yes, I would love to cook you dinner, or is this too hot for you? I'll blow on it until it's fine.
Divorce is allowed twice, then either honorable retention or setting free kindly. It is not lawful for you to take back anything you have given them unless they fear that they cannot maintain God's limits. If you fear that they cannot maintain God's limits, then there is no blame on them if she sacrifices something for her release. These are God's limits, so do not transgress them. Those who transgress God's limits are unjust. So you can get divorced and remarried, be married, get divorced, get married again, get divorced, get married again and then divorced, but after that you can't get married again after the 3rd divorce. But I guess a technicality which a lot of places use now is if after the 3rd divorce she gets married to someone else and they get divorced, then it resets the counter and you can get remarried to the first one again.
Wait, but it has to be the same person?
It can be. It doesn't have to be. It just resets it.
Oh, okay.
This is all hypothetical, of course, because a woman who gets married to this many men is clearly of the devil and should be stoned. Anyway, that's enough for this episode. Next week we'll come back with some more divorce stuff. There's a lot of divorce laws and like, hey, here's how women are less good than men. You get it.
Yeah, it's a good conversation. Also, high school kids, really pay attention next time.
Yeah.
You should really know that women aren't as good as men and that divorce is something that is just makes everyone super pumped.
Yeah, divorce is awesome. Just get married as many times as you want, get divorced.
Right.
Drink vodka all throughout that too. Again, in a water bottle, so no one knows.
Right.
preferably maybe do some heroin.
Definitely, and get a trench coat. Don't ever actually get guns or anything, but just wear a trench coat. No one will ever ask you not to drink the vodka.
So thanks, everyone. You can always check us out on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
You can follow Hugo at Hugo Reloaded, and you can also subscribe to the channel and get more of the things.
You can always donate to our Patreon campaign. We do a once-a-month patron-only hangout, which we just did, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But right now we're dealing with a strike, so we'll see where that's going to happen next month. If it's, it'll be resolved by next month one way or another. That'd be bullshit. That's not happening.
Oh, yeah. We don't even have to make a video about it. We can just do it right here.
Yeah.
We got a strike on the Kirk Cameron review of Fireproof for tags that didn't make sense, but we looked at the tags and it's like, all good.
It's like movie review, Kirk Cameron, Christianity, atheism.
That fits.
That's what all that shit is, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's gonna pain in the ass. I'm sick of dealing with that shit, but you get it. Anyways, until next time, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this has been the Qur'an Reloaded, and my nose is still stuffed up. I'm so sick of this. Ugh. Oh, it's still green.
Gross, dude.
You want to see it?
No.
Nah.